Hello everybody and welcome back to the sealed draft tournament, the first round and the second match. So I'm looking at my hand here. I think I got to start this time since I lost the previous match, and this is not really the kind of hand I want. I mean, I have a forest, I have 2 planes, so I have both my colors. I have Chromatic Lantern, which will give me all the mana fixing I'll ever need. So I can pretty much guarantee that I'll be able to play all my spells, but I want to be a little bit more aggressive than this. So I'm not entirely happy, but it's also one of those hands you just can't say no to because you've got all your lands and everything. So basically there's not much choice. I pretty much have to keep this. And he has another Centaur's Herald right there. So I'll draw my card there, another Plains. And I'll tap both my lands. And yes, I have in the meantime found out that you can just select both cards by dragging a box and then tap it in one go. And there's probably a handy shortcut for that too. Unfortunately, I hadn't found out whatever that was at the time of recording. Alright, so it's my turn again. He apparently did not have a turn 2 play. So I'm looking at my hand and trying to figure out the sequencing and whether this will work or not. And I'll attack here for 1 damage. With this Solhana Ledgewalker, he'll take the damage and go down to 19, which is good for me because, well, I will now play my Chromatic Lantern, which will give me again all the mana fixing I need. And Chromatic Lantern is a artifact that taps for mana, any color you want, and also allows all your lands to tap for any mana you want. So basically that means I then get to tap the Lantern and play the Skargan Pit Skulk, which thanks to Bloodthirst, and Bloodthirst being it has Bloodthirst 1, that means it gets a +1/+1 counter whenever I play it if I've dealt damage that turn. So, and Bloodthirst 1 means I only get 1 +1/+1 counters, whereas higher number of Bloodthirst means you get a higher number of +1/+1 counters. So I now have a 1/1 unblockable and a 2/2 currently unblockable for him, as the Skargan Pit Skulk cannot be blocked by creatures with less than its power. So I get to deal him 3 damage right here. And no blocks, you can't. He can't actually block here. But alright, he's taking 3 damage and it's my turn again. I'll drop a land and I'm already up to 5 lands thanks to ramping the Chromatic Lantern turn 3. Very useful. So Chromatic Lantern is a pretty good card because it enters the battlefield untapped as well. So it's basically, you know, even if you don't need it for mana fixing, it's also actually ramping as well. So very useful card in general there. Although you can't turn it into a creature like you can with the key runes, of course. And he plays a Trestle Troll, which can't block either of my creatures just yet, so I'm not too worried about it. And X-Bane Guardian is also mana ramping on his side there. Right now he only has forests out. So having some mana fixing is very good for him. End of his turn I'll play Scatter the Siege, which gets me 3 1/1 tokens, and you can see me stumbling around in the options and making my Saproling tokens here. And they are 1/1s. Alright, time to clone them past Nemo. Go ahead and do that. And done. All done. Alright, time for me to untap here and place my Scattered the Seeds into the graveyard. And draw a card, which is the Wild Beastmaster, which is pretty good right here. Quite happy, I think, drawing the Wild Beastmaster here. Certainly be a decently useful with all these creatures. So I'll attack with both my currently unblockable creatures. And he'll take the damage. Alright. and then I imagine I'll play the Wild Beastmaster here. That's what I imagine is what's going to happen here. And that is what happens here. Alright. Yeah, I actually did look up the like how expensive each card was. And I think the Wild Beastmaster was the most expensive card I drafted. But of course that doesn't necessarily mean it's great in draft or anything. But it can certainly be useful here. Him playing the Centaur Healer, however, means I kind of ruins my plan. Because first off, now he has a creature big enough to block my Skargan Pitskulk. And secondly... Wow. Wow. He plays two of them. Wow. Alright. Well, that certainly changes the game. Because secondly, he gaining the life, 6 life there, means my plan of just being really aggressive and killing him before he gets to play most of his cards is not going to actually work. So that kind of negates what I'm trying to do here, and that's really good for him. And also, I was planning on just bringing everybody here, and then whatever he uses to block the Wild Beastmaster, I'm going to then play Gaze of the Gorgon on the Wild Beastmaster and kill whatever he... Like, that was the plan, kill the Threshold Troll that way, and hopefully he'll be tapped out and all that, and I'll be able to bring my Semperlings, deal him a bunch of damage. That was basically the idea here, but he now has a bunch of creatures out that would be able to block the Wild Beastmaster anyway, and he would be able to block some of the Semperlings as well, so there's no more... It doesn't make any more sense to do that. So that basically means all I can bring here is the Selesnya Ledgewalker, and I'm sort of running out of plays, and now it's going to take me 18 turns to kill him. So not a good position for me to be in. I'm not very happy about that. Centaur Healer is certainly a very powerful card, and the Khrazda Monitor, I think is what that card is called that he just played, is a free guy with Trample, and it has Scavenge for 7. Scavenge is the Golgari ability where you can actually, when the creature is in the graveyard, you can actually use the Scavenge ability and put its power and toughness permanently onto another one of your creatures. Jeez. Took me a while to say that. I'm kind of tired. Anyways, so I block with my Wild Beastmaster, regen it, and kill the Centaur Healer I blocked, and it becomes tapped because it has regenerated. And I should be taking 3 damage here, but okay, yeah, I do. Alright. I was just a little bit slow about it. Yes, I still had to take the damage, indeed. That is correct. Correctamundo. And it's now my turn. And I draw a land. Well, that's great. That is superb. Just what I wanted to draw. I'll attack with the Selesnya Ledgewalker. And he sets his life total to 17. And I'll play a land. And end my turn. Because I don't really have a play again. My smaller creatures can't get by his bigger creatures. And just looking at the board state, I think I've gotten a bit mana flooded because he has more creatures than I do, and I actually got 3 creatures off of 1 card, so he must have been drawing better than I did. Drawing more creatures at least. He still hasn't even had time to pop his Centaur's Herald and make a Centaur creature token with that, or actually activate his key rune, so... And of course I draw another land there, so that's 2 turns in a row where I'm drawing land when I already have enough land. And maybe even 3 turns in a row. Alright, so now he pops his Centaur's Herald and gets a Centaur token, and he still has 2 cards in hand. I don't know what they are, but could certainly be more than just a land. Although apparently one of his free cards now was a land. He was doing all of this in my turn. Yeah, so you have to do everything manually in Cockatrice, in comparison to Jewel the Planeswalkers. Mistakes can happen here when it comes to that sort of stuff, and now he plays the Death's Presence, an enchantment that basically seals the deal for him here, I almost want to say, because whenever a creature he controls dies, whether or not it's a token, doesn't matter, he gets to then put the last known power and toughness of that creature onto another one of his creatures. So even if I get to deal with his creatures, it just means that his other creatures are now bigger. So that makes it really difficult for me to deal with his current board state. Him, of course, already having so many creatures out as well. It's very unlikely I'll be able to deal with all of those without actually making his other creatures too big to handle. So, very annoying, and he does have a flyer which he can just pump with whatever dies. But I do have to block something, so I guess I might as well just triple block something here. I could also double block another thing with Selesnya Ledgewalker and Skargan Pitskulk. But I think I decide not to do that because the Selesnya Ledgewalker is still unblockable right here, and I think this Skargan Pitskulk is to him as well, at least for this turn. So his Karazhan Monitor dies, and he'll use that to put its power and toughness onto the bird token. I guess blocking this the monitor was wrong here, because he's at 5 lands, yeah, because that thing has the ability to be sort of reused from the graveyard, so I probably would have been better off blocking the Centaur token, just in case he has Populate or something like that. So yeah, that's probably the best move to make, is to block that thing, but it doesn't really matter that much. But perfect play, you know. Perfect play is always the best play. That makes sense, Nemo. Gee. And I guess I stay back here for the Common Bond Trickery, but again, yeah, all I'm doing is making his bird token bigger by killing his other guys here, so very annoying. I don't want to tap, I want to actually draw arrows there. And yeah, I figured out here that I'm best off blocking the token, because that means if that is dead, he can no longer populate, in case he has any cards that say populate. And also, if he has anything that returns a creature from the graveyard, then he won't be able to use that on the token, and more importantly, he won't be able to use that on a creature that has a come into play effect, such as the Centaur Healer does. So oh yeah, some confusion there as I was waiting to get priority, because active player always has priority. So I was asking him to pass priority there, but he was moving through the phases. Yeah, exactly. So I'll play my Common Bond here, and I can't actually draw 2 arrows to something, so times 2. I'm putting 2 permanent counters onto the Skargan Pitskulk, and it's now a 4/4, and it actually has 3 counters because the Bloodthirst thing is also a counter, but whatever, a little confusing there, but... And yeah, he removed the wrong creature. I actually blocked the Centaur token instead of the Centaur Healer. Yeah, I did some cutting in the video, but this whole sequence of events took a little bit long, as he didn't realize I was waiting for priority and stuff. So and he already, by the time he realized I had some tricks, he had already moved through the phases, so he was no longer seeing the arrows. So I can imagine he didn't know what I blocked anymore. He was just thinking my creatures died, and that's it basically. But anyways, the free power and toughness moved to his bird token, which is now a 7/7. Yeah, so that's just... And I draw another common bond. So that is pretty much the game right there, because I can block a 7/7 creature, token, bird, and I have 7 life. So yeah, quite a good enchantment there, the Death's Presence. I'm sure he didn't complain about getting that in the draft, and certainly one of those cards I would have been very happy to get a card like that as well. But I don't think I have anything quite as good as that in my deck, to be honest with you. So anyways, that was match number 2, and we'll move on to match number 3 in the next video. My name's been Nemo, my name will still be Nemo then, and thanks for watching, see you then.